Welcome to BeerFormers. This is our 18th episode. We're so excited to be back. So excited to have all you people who keep watching us. We're up to over 165 subscribers now. Finally.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're getting so close to 170.
Yeah.
So more and people are discovering us. But at the end of the day, it's just exciting to see that number come up. We're doing this because we're having fun and talking about Transformers and other robot toys and talking about adult beverages. So, two things we love. So for this episode, we're going to do something, once again, a little different.
Are we?
Yeah, I tried to do
What are we
something
doing?
different
I
every
have
time.
no idea. This is a
Okay.
complete surprise.
All right, so for our Transformer for this episode, I'm just going to jump right into it. We have an official Transformer that can only be bought back in the day in Argentina. Okay?
How is that even possible?
There was several companies in Argentina who got licenses from Hasbro, who of course got their license from Takara to be able to make these toys, right?
That is a lot of
so a lot of backroom deals like that. And this one here is called, by this awesome name, ready? AM Radio, or Radio AM Robot, actually. Radio AM Robot. He didn't really have
FM?
He really didn't have a Transformer-y name. But he was sold in official Transformers packaging.
Yeah.
He came in two different colors. The one I own, as you can see here, has got red legs and a gray top.
Yeah.
There was a blue leg version, okay? And it turns into a working AM radio.
Yeah, there's buttons on the back.
Back. Okay?
Look at that. It says tuning.
And what's cool about this is, I'll show you a couple things in robot form before I turn it to the wall so she can transform it here. You flip this up almost like Soundwave, except for it comes up instead of out, and just reveals the battery compartment, all right? But it's made to look like a cassette deck, so this will transform into what looks like a radio.
Bad guy, though.
I've got this as a Decepticon.
Okay.
This was sold. This wasn't sold as either an Autobot or a Decepticon.
Oh, so that's your headcanon.
Yeah, it just said. So my headcanon is that this is a Decepticon. I have given him the name of my headcanon of Modulator.
Ooh, much better.
Because AM is amplitude modulation, right? Okay.
So much better than AM robot radio.
Now, this came with the sword accessory, which gets into my next point here. This is very unique engineering on it. No one seems to know exactly who was behind this. It was sold by a company called Commando Toys in Argentina, like I said. Commando Toys. No one seems, as far as what research I can do, seems to know a lot about Commando Toys.
Do they still exist?
I don't know about that. I didn't look that part up.
Okay.
But they did get this license to be able to produce and sell a Transformer in official Transformers packaging in Argentina.
For some reason,
the face of this
radio.
Yeah, this face of this, and AM was still a big deal back in the 80s. This came out in 87, by the way. The face of this is Generation 1 Megatron.
Huh.
I'll try to put that on the screen so you can see him side by side, okay? His arm engineering is similar to...
Transformer.
Yeah, his arm engineering is similar to how the engineering for the arms for Omega Supreme, which we've done in an earlier episode, right?
Okay.
And his leg engineering is Soundwave.
Yeah,
Okay?
I can tell.
It's not exactly, but the engineering for how it transforms that. So let's go ahead and put this in your hands here, and then we'll show you how it works.
What am I turning him into?
Turns into a boombox.
A boombox, okay.
And while you're doing that one, I'm going to bust another one out real quick. This one was not an official Transformer. This was told by a company called Taifong, I think in China or Taiwan. Okay. And this one I've made it in my headcanon to be an Autobot. Okay. This one I call Shortwave. Because that's slang for AM radio, right? This is also a working AM radio robot. So because I got this one that's official that I made a Decepticon, I found another, not really a knockoff, because a knockoff usually is one where they take the mold and they illegally produce it cheaply, right? This one is just its own engineering, sold not under any kind of banner that I know of. It wasn't a GoBot, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. It's just another boom box that turns, a transformer. That turns into a working AM radio, that rich AM sound.
Yes.
We're going to hear in a second. Both of these work, as we're going to see here in just a minute. And you can pick up whatever AM station still exists today. Like around here in the St. Louis area, one of the big ones is KMOX, so you can listen to the Cardinals.
Oh, boy.
So
are these hands supposed to come out?
No, the hands stay where they are. So Taifong produced this one here, and I thought this, because of its coloration, looked kind of Autobot-y, so I put an Autobot sticker on them. All right. You want me to go ahead and transform this one, or you want to transform both of them?
Well, I'm having some problems
a hard time
already.
with Modulator here?
Yes, I know he's supposed to do splits like this.
Okay. So
that's clear.
So typically,
I'm having a hard time with those arms.
Typically, one little thing here, because you tend to do this a lot. This is not a slam. Just I've noticed this about you. Usually when they transform, they should look a little bit like normal in robot mode. So if you fold this down, you don't see like a face poking up anymore. Okay. So for this one, okay, all you had to do, we just want to take these arms and kind of go like that with them. You get that? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It did do it. I knew it was, there's where the hands go. Okay.
Yeah, the hands just kind of fold up in that slot. Yep.
Does the splits. And the leg's going to go up
So
here.
never sold in America. I don't know if this was even sold anywhere outside of Argentina, to be honest with you. So this is kind of a rarity amongst Transformers collectors, and I'm proud enough to be able to own.
Cool. Right. Where'd you get that one?
I got them on eBay. You want to try this one?
Okay, and all right, so that's Modulator.
This is Modulator. I made him into a Decepticon again, as sold. So he looks a lot like Soundwave or Blaster. We've not done Blaster yet, but Blaster is the Autobot equivalent.
Who is this?
This one I've given the name. This one was called AM Robot 2. I think. What's it say right there in the small print there?
Let's see.
AM FM radio.
AM radio.
AM radio.
Robotic radio.
Robotic radio. I think that's what it was actually called in this packaging.
Does this
company called Typhon. That check does not open on that one. Okay. So while Noel's transferring this, I'll see if I can get a station to turn on this here.
Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Okay.
Here we go.
Get an extra paint job or something?
Wow.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
That's cool.
So for those of you, a little science lesson here. AM has the ability to travel great distances. So it's great for long distance communication. Not great for giving rich sound. So in the early days, AM radio was the radio, essentially, right? So you could have a station that you could listen to almost across the entire country. The waves can kind of bounce off the ionosphere and then bounce back down, so they can kind of use that to their advantage to get it to go very far. FM, which is if you listen to radio still to this day, I know that's kind of going away too.
Yeah.
True FM radio. That's frequency modulation. That is much shorter distance, but you can do different things with the signal to be able to get that rich, stereo sound, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So AM, it was quickly, I think, kind of phased out. It still exists. There's still stations for it. It's great for talk radio because you don't have to have richness of sound just to hear some people talking. But if you want to listen to music on AM, it's not going to sound the best sometimes. It's also very susceptible to atmospheric interference. So if we have a solar flare day or things like that, AM's going to not sound so good either. And that'll happen to FM too, but the AM especially. But it was really cheap and easy to make an AM radio, especially in a small, cheap size like this. There's not as much circuitry.
It really lent
so you can pack it easily into a toy like this, especially with the engineering, et cetera, from the 80s. Need a little help with that one now, too?
No, I was really hoping not, but man.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Really?
Just turn this hand that way, too, and then fold it.
Oh, so the sticker's on the front.
That just stays like that, yep.
Okay, all right, so that should be, does that go like that?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
Now you're getting it.
All right.
So sometimes I'll do that with my collection. I'll take toys that aren't really Transformers, but they look kind of cool, they're kind of interesting, and I'll incorporate in my collection and make them a Transformers toy. Our dog Ronan is at the top of the stairs. He really wants to come down,
I'll go get him.
He's getting a little old, and he's a little scared to come down tonight, so we'll get him in a second. Remember, this one is like this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Boom, and I did get the handle right this time.
And I think this one's got interesting because the head, is the boombox handle, but it kind of rotates inward like that to form that T-shaped head, which is kind of interesting. I thought too. This one is a little more touchy. It was a little more old when I bought it on eBay, but sometimes this one doesn't always work. We'll see if we can get a signal on this one. So they both work. Yeah.
That's what were we just listening to?
I have no idea what station that was. One thing that's weird about these is on the back. I don't know if I'll maybe take a picture of this thing further. It just shows the volume dial and shows the
it says tuning
on it. And there's 1 through 20 on there, but there's no mark to say what is it pointing at. So it's kind of like you just kind of tune and go, okay, I think that might be KMOX or that might be this or that might be that. But so 2 robot again looks a lot like Blaster and or Soundwave. But this one is an official Transformer, only available in Argentina. This one is not an official Transformer, but I put it in my collection. Modulator and Shortwave. And those are our kind of rarity, unique Transformers for the night, all right? So, Noel's going to get our beer for the night, and I'm going to go see to our buddies. So we're going to walk away for a split second here, and we'll come right back. So, Noel, go ahead and talk a little more about the beer while I see what I can do.
Oh, sure. Okay. Our poor dog. He's so silly. He was sleeping so soundly on the couch, and I said, let's just leave him upstairs. But nope, he woke up, and he can't not be in the same room with us. So, the beer that we're going to talk about is from a place down in Southern Illinois that we just went to this past weekend when we were camping to celebrate my special birthday. We won't say how old I am. But anyway, there are a lot of really good brew pubs in Southern Illinois. But the one we're going to feature today is called Molly's Pint. And it is in Murphysboro, Illinois.
Murphysboro, Illinois.
And here's a few things to share about Molly's Pint. First of all, one of the reasons we went to it is because we were camping very close to Murphysboro. It was one of the pubs that was featured in the pub pass that our friend Gretchen made for us as a Christmas gift. And it seemed like just the perfect place for us to, have a flight of beer after a morning of hiking. So here's a few words about Molly's Pint. Here's what they say on their website. As an Irish brew pub, which is how they identify.
Mm-hmm. And when you walk inside, it has all those feels, absolutely.
It sure does. It says, as an Irish brew pub, it is our mission to cultivate an ever-evolving selection of traditionally styled beer alongside our rotating specialty batches. They're very proud that all of their beers are brewed on location in the brew pub. And they also are a member of the Southern Illinois Beer Trail. Now, they're really relatively new to the scene. They were founded in 2017 by Nick and Molly Blue. Nick was from the Quad Cities, and he moved down south, and he brought with him a love of home brewing and beer. And when he met Molly, she also shared his love, kind of like we share some particular things that we love together. Mm-hmm. And they turned theirs into, they turned their homebrewing passion into this business. What Molly likes to say is that she used to tell Nick, if we ever start a brewery, you're naming a beer after me. Well, she didn't get a beer, but she got a whole dang pub named after her, right. Okay? So the pub itself is in downtown historic Murphysboro. Mm-hmm. It is in a bar that was called Marge's. It had closed down, and they completely refurbished it.
It's like half a block away from the old train station, which the railroad tracks don't even exist anymore, but the train station's there.
Yeah, it's really a cool spot. Not a lot of parking. No. But
street parking. So.
Yeah, and really no windows or ways to see inside. It's very, kind of
Old school bar.
But when you walk inside, very well decorated. It feels very warm, very inviting. They have no food. They do not have their beer in cans or bottles, but they do have flights. We tried all of them but one, and we brought home a growler because right now they have growlers. We brought home a growler of their Scottish Heavy.
Could we bring our own food in there if we wanted to? Was that allowed there? I don't remember.
That I'm not sure about. So we didn't, and we didn't ask. But we were the first ones in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and we tried, like I said, we tried all the beers that we possibly could. Molly, of Molly's Pint, says this on their website. We have an old-fashioned sense of community. You won't find TVs in our pub, but you might find yourself toasting with your pastor at Molly's and then seeing them at church on Sunday.
Yeah, they had a little area for they can do like live music or other things like that. I saw. When we were there, they didn't have one at the time. They just had like a rack there selling merch. They have merch for sale.
Yeah, lots of merch. And they also claim to be the only Irish pub in Southern Illinois. And they take that very seriously and with a lot of pride.
I just don't know where the line of demarcation is because we have one in nearby Alton.
Yeah.
And we consider that Southern Illinois too. So, sorry, Molly's Pint. I don't know where your dividing line is, but.
Yeah, go Morrison's. But anyway. So the only other thing I would say is that they had a really fun selection of board games and books as well. Mm-hmm. And we entertained ourselves with our friends by making up a game with a book they had there called the Snark Bible.
The Snark Bible.
So we went there, had a great time. The beers were very interesting. Now, their current beer menu is not available online, and we neglected to take a picture of the menu, the beers that were available that day. But I will say we enjoyed everything we tried. Mm-hmm. Some of the more interesting ones, they have one called the James Blonde 007 Blonde Ale. They have two very spicy beers. They have a jalapeno session IPA.
Which is really good. It did actually. I first took a sip. The spice is pretty strong.
Yeah, it's very spice forward.
but if you're not expecting it, boom.
And it's the same thing they had a beer brewed with pepperoncinis.
Love that.
And I've never had a beer like that before.
Yeah, I've had several jalapeno beers.
It was my favorite beer I had that day because it really stood out as being different.
Yeah.
So they also had a cream ale made with Irish cream. So of course they did, right? But we had a lot of fun. Enjoyed the beer. It would be fun to be there when there was a lot more people, I'm sure. Really experiencing a full pub atmosphere. But like I said, we got there literally when the doors opened.
We're pretty sure, we didn't introduce ourselves, but we're pretty sure the guy who was waiting on us was the owner.
Yeah, probably.
We're reasonably sure it was the owner. Very friendly guy.
Yeah.
Was super helpful and
Yeah.
answering our questions and all that kind of stuff. So, really good place to visit. What did we bring home, though?
Well, this is the Scottish Heavy.
Scottish Heavy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, which, as you might know, if you're a fan of this channel and watched other tastings we've done, Scottish ales are my favorite kind of beer. So I'm super excited about this. And we have a lot. And because it's a growler, we're going to have to...
We're filming this on
take
Labor
care of
Day,
it.
so let's do some labor by lifting some glasses.
Oh, absolutely. And...
beer curls.
And... And toast all of us working stiffs out there.
Yeah.
Go to work every day. Bring home the bacon for our families.
And to all the people who want to work but can't.
Yeah. Here's all you. So
we've had this before, so we know what it's like. But we'll tell you what we taste when we taste it here now.
And that's a really good.
Typical Scotch ale, a little earthy,
Yeah.
very deep flavor.
Always very malty, which I love.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Scottish ale. This is
Kinda
delicious.
Like roasted quality to it too. I'm not sure how they make Scottish ales. Do you?
I'm not sure, and I need to learn how since they're my favorite beer profile.
Is Loch Ness involved in any way?
I don't know.
Okay.
You think maybe they take some of the skin of the monster?
They milk the monster. This
might.
is Nessie milk.
Might be.
Which means
in
Nessie
fact,
has nipples and you can milk anything with nipples.
Right there. If you are a brew pub and you want to make a Scottish ale and you want to call it Nessie's milk, you're welcome. All right. You can have that one's free.
That one's for free.
This is great, Dave.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to drink it all tonight.
Because you know how growlers are. You gotta drink it fast. So
but,
we'll be enjoying that for the rest of the year. Yeah,
so that's the only downside is that you can't take take it in bottles or cans and then enjoy it at your leisure. But
maybe someday if they grow. Maybe they'll get into that,
So again, but they're very new, and so it's super cool. I love a place that brews right on the premises.
And Murphysboro is kind of a big town for rural southern Illinois, right? And so they have a lot of stuff going on in Murphysboro. So if you're in the southern Illinois region at all, like near Carbondale, they got lots of natural wonders down there, like Little Grand Canyon that we hiked and stuff, So there's lots of reasons to go down there. Besides,
we hiked, we slipped,
going to the brew pub.
We got wet butts as well, except for you. You're the only one that didn't fall.
I didn't fall on the Little Grand Canyon.
Still a great day.
Yeah. All right, so I think that kind of brings us to an end here. Coming up really soon. So as we always say on this one, you can find information about
I can't believe
Radio
there's
AM
not
Robot.
one but two of these.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Were these both in Argentina or just that one?
No, that was sold like in China and Taiwan.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the company was Typhon.
Do you like one better?
I think this one's a little bit cooler just because of the face on it and stuff like that, and the fact that it was an official Transformer. I put the Autobot and Decepticon stickers on to make them.
This is totally your head
to incorporate them into my headcanon.
Okay.
They both came with swords initially, which I didn't get the swords, and I bought them used on eBay.
Yeah.
So I've found
Did you make swords?
I found other weapons around the house to give them a weapon when I display them on my shelves.
Do they each have a toothpick in their hand?
No.
Oh, okay. So better than that because it's a homemade sword.
When I was young, I would do like lightsabers from my Star Wars toys by finding a colored toothpick and sticking it in the slot.
That's pretty ingenious.
That's what she's talking about there. So that's funny that you remember that. Yeah.
I like that one
just
better,
the fact that they're working, too.
Yeah,
because one of the things I commented on
cool.
Soundwave the other day, we did a Soundwave episode, is that I thought Soundwave worked. I thought it was a working cassette recorder. I'm like,
and you were
that's
very
so awesome.
bummed about that.
So then to find out later on as an adult, because I didn't know about these until I was an adult, that they were working AM radio Transformers. Yeah. Now, one quick thing here before we sign off. Yeah. They did make other AM radio products that had the Transformers label on them. They were like, handheld, walkie-talkie type radios.
Yeah, did they transform?
But they did not transform.
Ooh.
There was one that looked almost like a Walkman.
Okay.
Had an Autobot symbol on it. You could pop the Autobot symbol off, and then attached to it was like Frenzy / Rumble that we looked at when we talked about Soundwave. It could transform into a cassette, but you couldn't detach it. It was stuck to the side of that thing. So it was kind of like... And so fun little fact, because maybe we'll get this story real quick too, is that robot attached to our radio's name was Enemy. But so if you're a fan of G.I. Joe, that was what all the Cobra guys were initially called. We're just the
Yes.
enemy, right?
Yeah.
So
Except for
flash
one
forward 30 years, they have since made an official, separate, actual run around. You
Yeah.
could get it and whatever enemy figure,
Aw.
and I have that.
Of course you
Oddly
do.
enough, yeah.
Of course you do.
So they kind of actually gave Enemy a web redemption and got him an actual better new toy, and it's just a recoloring of Frenzy and Rumble, but
Yeah.
at least
That's neat.
he's a standalone.
Does he
figure now.
have text back?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's official. All right, before we sign off,
So if
pour
there's
me
anything-
pour me one more glass.
Go ahead.
okay?
I'll
This is good stuff.
sign off here real quick. So again, if you want to know about any other Transformer that you might have seen as I do my fly through at the beginning of each of these videos, or just one in general, let us know. Drop us a line. If you're interested in knowing anything about any beer or other place or place you'd like us to try, let us know. Drop us a line. As we always like to say as we're going to sign off, make sure you're always playing responsibly and drinking responsibly.
That's right.
Again, go to tfwiki.net if you would like to know about Radium AM Robot. Typhon Radio Robot is not on the TF Wiki because he's not an official Transformer.
Oh.
But you can look this up on the internet and find information about it as well, too, if you'd like to try to find these and incorporate them into your Transformers collection. So as we get ready to say, as we say all the time, cheers once more. Thank you for checking in with us here at
Thank you,
BeerFormers.
guys. We really appreciate it. And say that one more time. I miss
One more
my
time
beer.
at BeerFormers.
More than meets the eye.